Sudbury.com says that Ontario is committing $75 million to bring back passenger train service in Northern Ontario. I know a few people that are going to be very excited about this.
Okay.
Premier Doug Ford rode a train himself.
He rode a train?
Into Porcupine.
Man, this is a great political PR.
Isn't this a great look for a premier that's coming up for election? He says,
very good.
How about another $75 million to revive the passenger train?
Yeah, $75 million.
There's basically 3 options for the route that the train could take, all of which would require a large subsidy to sustain operations. So this is never going to be a self-sustaining, just to be clear.
So it's always going to need government injection.
Subsidy,
in order
and that's generally the way the train works.
Because we're underpopulated and the costs of the train are over
They're
what
gonna
we'd be
over.
able to, self-sustain it, be self-reliant, basically. So it's going to
Exactly.
So they're going into this as a partner, basically, kind of thing.
They're kind of knowing how much is it going to cost in advance, at least, and they're still thinking that it's worth it. So one of the possible routes would be to Timmins, Toronto, all the way to Timmins.
Cool.
So Sudbury obviously would be on the way, and then they would offer bus connections to other stations and having more routes like to Cochrane and a couple of other smaller towns like Porcupine. Yeah, what do you think of this? Is this like a political stunt, or do you think this is really useful?
First thing I thought of, now obviously I'm not a fan of, now this is the way politics works and governments work, where there'll be one government in power and they'll take something away and then another one comes in and puts it back in, and it costs millions and millions of dollars every time they do something like this.
Yep.
So they stop the rail and it costs money to now it's going to cost way more money to start it up again, stop, start. But I think over and above that, it has something to do with the Ring of Fire.
You think so?
I don't know what it has to do with it, but just to connect the Southern Ontario population to Northern Ontario, to give them, transportation other than, being in their own vehicles. Workers can easily, even live in Toronto and get on a train and get up there and work and come back, right? So I don't know. I just think without having the facts that it somehow is connected in some way, shape, and form.
No, that absolutely makes sense. The total cost, including one-time capital startup cost, would be about $550 million, and that would be to get an all-new fleet. So, I mean, that's how much money really is that?
They sell off all the old cars because they say, okay, we're not doing this anymore. And then when someone says, oh, we need to start this up again, they got to buy all brand new cars again.
But when you're in the negative anyway, like when you're in the red permanently for a project like this, the upfront cost might be justified rather than just upkeeping a fleet of trains that we don't use.
Yeah. Like what's a few other $100 million?
$100 million.
Right?
Yeah.
Where does that money come from? We can just print it.
Who knows? It just comes from
comes
from our incomes. So
does it?
Yeah, we pay a provincial income tax.
Oh yeah, that's right too. So we pay for that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Unless you don't have a job. But I guess you still really pay for it
It
implicitly because your life would be better.
That's right. And you are taxed on unemployment insurance if that's the income you're at. And
it's kind of interesting.
You have,
So as a regional hub, Porcupine as a possible future terminus, we will most certainly see positive impact on tourism and industry sectors. That's my new favorite term, industry sectors.
Yeah, so meaning just
everything.
Everything.
Yep.
And they, instead of saying specific ones, they can just get away with saying tourism for sure. That's an easy one, but
tourism is very politically popular.
Yeah,
because it's kind of like free money. You don't have to really do anything. It just increases the money you already get in other areas.
Yeah, and then other industries.